What's up? What's up? What's up? Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending what time you're watching and listening, and whatever it is you are going to do with this information that I'm about to spew your way. It's been a while. You already know this is your boy Mukhtar Muhammad. All right, the plethora of stories. Google it. You can find me on like almost anywhere: Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, iHeartRadio. Like, if you just put the name of the podcast on Google, I pop up. There's rarely a lot of people that look like me, but rarely. And so the only Mukhtar hashtag that I also pop up on that too. But it's been a while. It's been almost 2 months since I made a new content. So I'm gonna try to be consistent and pop out on here again. What's going on with everybody? What's happening? What y'all got going on? But speaking of being away for a little minute, about 2 months, without notice. But speaking of notices, given the title of the podcast, you already know what this is about. We're going to talk about 2-week notice. All right. Generally, I'm just going to jump in it. Yeah, I know me enough that I don't do good with introduction. I just hop into the information. I do my little spiel and just hop in that mug. It is generally not an illegal thing, to put in 2-week notice to resign from a job, but we do it anyways, right? There's no federal or local or regulations that requires employees to provide a specific amount of notice before quitting. However, it is typically considered professional courtesy to give your employer a reasonable amount of notice, such as 2 weeks, to allow them to make an arrangement for your departure and find a replacement if necessary. If you have assigned a contract or an agreement that specifies a requirement notice period, failing to provide that notice could result in breaching your contract or potentially being able to, subject to legal consequences. That's only if there's, a contract or any kind of form of legalization that you have made prior to applying the job that requires you to stick for a period amount of time, and then you break that contract, right? But normally, it don't really matter, all right? But a 2-week notice is a professional courtesy. Again, given from one person, you, the employee, giving it to your employer. But it's not illegal. There's nothing against that, all right? And then mainly just explaining on why you're leaving and, you just being thankful for being there, just giving them the time and day to yo, I'm about to leave, find somebody to replace me. But on the flip side of that, if we give them the courtesy because we don't want to be there and we want to quit the job, like, I hate this job, I can't stand this job, it's not for me, and you just, like, you know what, I'm going to give them 2-week notice, all of that. But on the flip side, why don't they do the same thing for the employees? Yo, it's all right, we don't want your ass here. You got 2 weeks to find yourself another job. After that, you're gone, right? You got 2 weeks to get your affairs in order. After that, don't let the door hit you when God split you. All right? You got 2 weeks. We appreciate the time, but we don't feel like you're for us anymore. Why? Because they don't care. They don't care. And I talk about this because mainly other people who are anxious, worried what the job is going to think of them, where the people are going to think of them, where the managers are going to think of them. Listen, when you clock in, it's a professional relationship. Even if you're cool with a person, because they won't do anything to jeopardize their job security, okay? Even if you think you're cool with a person, they're your friend. When it comes to you and their job, They will keep their job. They will choose their job. They will stay and do everything to make sure they do not lose their livelihood, their way of living, their income source. And I'm not saying don't be a professional, don't be an adult. I'm just saying we're made to think that if you don't put a 2-week notice, you're a horrible person. You're a terrible human being. I mean, unless you're trying to use them as a reference later in the future for your benefit, I understand that. But for the most part, the same way they'll get at you, they tell you to get out right now, you could just quit and go. You know, right? But again, for reference reason, for somebody to speak good on your behalf for your next job, because you've been there and all of that, it makes a little sense, because you're trying to, get in your good graces on your new place. That makes a whole lot of sense. But for the most part, you could just up and go and leave. You don't have to tell anybody, because it's good in services. It's time and services, needs and wants. All right, you need them, they need you. You want them, they want you, because you need money. They need your services. You give them your time, they give you money. That's all it is. So again, I bring this up because we tend to put or give this employers, the power to control our lives, our well-beings. Yes, it's a source of income, it's a source of, finances to finance your life in order for you to, to live eventually. But we're giving them so much power that I might even need to do another episode on how much power we give these people. That's ridiculous and it's crazy. If you don't like your job, just like they could get rid of you in a minute, unless you need a reference in the future for that place, don't stress, because they're not stressing. Just like when they're you see them standing around when you're busting your ass. If they cared when you're running around, they'll help. And so when you're busting your ass, you see they are delegating work. I hate that word. Delegating work. They don't care. Because if you're able to do it, even if you're struggling, they will let you do it. And y'all know a lot of people that can relate that. So don't give these people much power than they have. Don't make it to the point like you can't live without them. We live in a day and time where anything is possible when it comes to technology. All you got to do is just look. Because if you're not looking, you'll never find what you need, what you want, what you're looking for in life. Because if you're just stuck and have the same mindset on the same thing, you'll forever give these people the power over you. Be courteous if you have to be. Be a decent human being. But if you got to leave a job, when you're ready, just quit. Because they won't give you the same courtesy. They won't give you 2-week notice. They won't even give you a day notice. They will fire you on the spot and you will leave. But if the other way around, you have to quit. You have to give them 2-week notice so they can find somebody to replace your position so their business could go on. Make it make sense to me. This is your boy Muktar, and I'm out.